So hello, my name is Mike Bagelman. I'm the co-founder and CEO of a company called Joberate. Just a quick background about me. Prior to starting Joberate in 2014, I ran the global recruitment outsourcing business for a company called Adecco. Some of you may know who they are. They're one of the largest staffing companies in the world. I did that for almost a decade. Prior to that, I ran the HR Technology and Services Association. My background's in computer science. Somehow I took a left-hand turn and wound up in the human capital space. I don't know how that happened, but it's been a great ride. I met my co-founder, Josh, back in 99, 2000. We did a startup called Career Bay at the height of sort of the job board market, and that company was sold to TMP at the time. And ever since we sort of kept in touch, we got back together to start Joberate. We have another team of people that backs us. We have about 12 other developers. So all in all, Joberate's 14 people, just for context. The problem that we're looking to tackle is that it's really around big data and analytics. This is one of these things that everybody talks about a lot, and there's just spray of solutions out there. But if you actually talk to companies, a lot of them are actually struggling getting any ROI out of that. But yet the spend continues to increase. So we developed a global platform of proprietary people metadata, and we think that we're poised to exploit this $187 billion market by helping companies convert really unique people insights into profits and actionable data. Having ran a business myself and bought a lot of these things, it's the so what test. You come out of a meeting and there's like really interesting information. You ask yourself, okay, that's great. I'm edified. Now what do I do with it? Anyway, so this is kind of the problem that we're looking to address. Now, there are lots of industry sectors that are actually spending money in this category. And I just kind of wanted to highlight a few. You have the consumer space, you have the sort of the human capital space, financial services space, econometrics, and et cetera. Given my background and a pretty large problem in the human capital space, this is the area where we decided to focus on first. So all the things that we've built really in the last couple of years are around recruitment, employee engagement, retention, and et cetera. Okay, so what are the actual tactical pain points that are preventing companies from realizing ROI from this, right? Besides sort of the wonderful slides. You could kind of boil it down to 4 or 5 things. Number one, the velocity with which data is created is really fast. And if you think about how many social profiles people have today, you have Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. I mean, you could just go on and on. It seems like there's a new social platform that's popping up every day. And none of those things really talk to one another, right? They're all independently owned and operated platforms. So, the siloing of it makes it really difficult to kind of aggregate information about people. And then you have social data aggregators, companies like DataSift, GNIP, et cetera, and they offer these fire hoses of unstructured data that doesn't relate to anything. You have to parse it, you have to use machine learning and all these other things, and you find interesting information, but not about any person. Right? And this becomes really critical for marketers. It's like, well, I want to target you. I don't want to target someone who owns an iPhone. That's much more expensive. I want to target you because I know you're sitting in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I want you to go to that store. So that's kind of the challenge with the traditional social data aggregators. And there are other companies like Acxiom and Experian. You may have heard of these. They do provide information about people, but it's kind of static, and they rely for somebody to report it. So there's this sort of like 9 or 10 different things out there that if you were clever enough to aggregate them all together as a business, you could probably make some sense out of it. But in the aggregate, they sort of present a problem statement of why companies can't really monetize it. And it is a big problem. D&B recently acquired FlipTop. What FlipTop essentially did is they crawled publicly available social data. They brought it together. D&B acquired them to integrate that with their structured data. And now they know a lot more information about the clients and the market and et cetera, et cetera. So, and this is just kind of a beginning of a wave of M&A activity in this space because the problem statement is very real. How do we help companies with this? So we do it in basically four simple ways. We help them target real people. And this is really key, not devices or channels. You hear a lot about channel marketing and device marketing, but we actually help them find real people. We do omni-channel data discovery, which is key. So we look at all the publicly available information. We do identity resolution, which is really key. So we actually build thick files of publicly available information about people, and we offer clients real-time metadata access that allows them to speed up the information to action lifecycle. And that's really important from the time I get the information to when do I put it into action. And while we have a unique data set, we actually tailored our business after successful business models. We kind of have a simple SaaS platform, SaaS search, SaaS analytics. They're turnkey, in an hour, clients running. We have a search-enabled API that clients can access to access metadata. Today, we have information on more than 330 million people globally, so it's a fairly large data set. And then we're also in the sort of kind of wholesale data business. This is kind of what we've realized as a unique product market fit. Over the last 2 years, we've kind of gone out. We try to determine, and I think we have reasonably found a really good product market fit, a really good price point. We're at 11 clients and growing. The clients are writing checks on average of $120,000 a year. We recently signed a client for $250,000 a year to help us validate that the problem is real and really understand the product market fit. And the media has been really kind to us. We were in the Harvard Business Review, we were in the Washington Post. I think they're really fascinated with this whole idea of being able to find information about people. And because we're focusing in the HR space, retention and engagement are really key to us. We're currently at a $1.6 million run rate. Again, that gives us reasonable comfort that we've kind of figured out product market fit and really the pricing scheme within the human capital space. To date, we've raised $1.5 million. Gartner is our lead investor. They put $1 million, and we raised another $500,000 from angels. We're now looking to raise $3 million to kind of step on the gas, build out the sales team, and get to our next hurdle, about a $10 million run rate, at which point we'll then be able to kind of take the business globally in terms of sales and marketing. Thank you very much.